Welcome back, folks! After 2 years of hibernation, we're back with the most exciting bulletin of the year. This is the UNDP Sri Lanka News Bulletin for 2024. And I'm Iman.
And I'm Ayesha, joining you live from our newsroom in Colombo.
For 2024's headlines, we're diving into the incredible achievements of UNDP Sri Lanka. Trust me, if the year was a movie, UNDP would sweep the awards.
Let's roll the highlights then, shall we?
Let's kick things off with the launch of the district profiles of Sri Lanka's first ever multidimensional vulnerability index. It's a mouthful, I know, but trust me, this milestone is all about data-driven action. This follows last year's policy report, spearheaded by Citra Lab, with support from UNDP's Surge Data Hub and the Department of Census and Statistics.
And speaking of launches, Iman, did you know that starting January 2025, the new Digital Civil Registration and Vital Statistics, also known as the CRVS project, is taking off? It will be key to establishing legal identities, capturing vital events, and keeping personal records accurate. It's all about smoother services and faster access to accurate information. It's really going to be a game changer, with hopefully fewer queues. Trust me, I've been in one for 10 hours.
Wow, how did you manage that?
Lots of patience, I guess.
Moving on, in June, a few colleagues jetted off to the Philippines.
Wait, why is this a highlight?
Oh well, it wasn't for a vacation, Ayesha, but for two things. The 2024 Youth Collab Summit, hosted by UNDP, City Foundation, ADB and DTI, spotlighted inclusive entrepreneurship. Sri Lanka's own Jayanthan also impressed everyone with his innovative ideas. And secondly, UNDP also facilitated a knowledge exchange program with the Parliament of the Philippines and the Women's Parliamentary Caucus.
Hold that thought. I think we have some breaking news coming in.
UNDP's flagship Mobile Gender exhibition, A Journey of Transformation and Women's Empowerment, hit Colombo for International Women's Day in 2024. Having launched in November 2023 in Kandy, it also completed stops in Kurunegala, Jaffna, Galle, Nuwara and Batticaloa, with donor partners visiting the locations too. This was all through the support of the governments of Canada and Norway.
And the best part is that it's now digital. You can explore the inspiring stories, interactive exhibits, and more on the UNDP website.
In November, we also proudly joined forces with over 500 people from UN agencies, the government, and the Forum Against GBV to kick off 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Under the theme, By Your Side, we marched alongside leaders, partners, and the public, calling for bold, decisive action to build a GBV-free Sri Lanka. How amazing is that?
Pretty amazing, Kendra. And the momentum didn't stop there. A gender symposium at the University of Jaffna brought fresh perspectives, while a compelling video on justice sector responses to GBV unveiled at the Judges' Conference sparked critical debate. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kendra and Anuradha. We now have a special segment on governomics, where sustainability meets strategy. It's all about progress with purpose.
Hot off the symposium, Sri Lanka held its first ever National Tax Dialogue. Yes, taxes can be exciting. The event shed light on tax morale, fairness, and transparency, while emphasizing the need for digitalized public services.
In 2023, we sowed seeds of change with a 12-month Cash Plus pilot project. Targeting women and vulnerable groups, this farm-to-market empowerment model supported 1,000 beneficiaries across Sri Lanka. With cash transfers, livelihood support, and a sprinkle of empowerment, we saw this pilot truly turn economic challenges into harvest-ready opportunities.
Wow, this all sounds like incredible work. For our next segment, we get a little more serious. Get ready for the Civic Compass, the stage where UNDP's triumphs in governance are unveiled. From strengthening institutions to empowering voices, this is where progress gets its spotlight. Over to you, Chaturanga.
And on the anti-corruption playing field, Sri Lanka just leveled up. With support from the government of Japan, the ongoing initiative is supporting the rolling out of reforms faster than you can say transparent. It aims to strengthen the anti-corruption ecosystem through national policy reforms, inter-stakeholder collaboration, and institutional capacity building.
In May, young leaders got a crash course in making things happen at the Forum for Youth Reps of Sectoral Oversight Committees. Parliament opened its doors and the youth brought the energy, inviting youth insights on the changes their participation has inspired. The event highlighted the value of youth voices in shaping governance and making oversight committees more inclusive and impactful. Lights, camera, ethics. Local journalists sharpened their storytelling skills with some top-notch media training alongside the Ministry of Media. With better reporting comes a bigger impact. Stay tuned for news that informs, not inflames.
We kicked off June with a bang. The National Symposium on Catalyzing Change brought together ideas and energy for future-fit local governance. Spearheaded under the EU-funded CDLG project, the symposium celebrated the role of government systems in building inclusive, resilient communities. And while we say goodbye to the CDLG project, its transformative results and legacy shall remain. Sri Lanka's justice system is online and on point. With the launch of the Commercial High Court and Sri Lanka Law College websites, the justice system has gotten quite an upgrade. The Jure project is setting the stage for a more accessible and modern justice system.
Sri Lanka is rewriting the justice narrative because everyone deserves a fair trial and a safe society.
Exactly on point. And as always, on the go and in the thick of it, our social butterfly Rakita flutters from one story to the next, with steadfast Anuradha always nearby. Together, they bring the pulse of the field straight to you.
Thanks, Aisha. Folks, what's better than talking about climate action? Seeing it in action. The ADB, AFD, JICA, along with reps from the government and private sector, took a field trip to UNDP Sri Lanka's integrated climate programming sites, especially GCF CRIMP sites, because even the best climate solutions deserve a close-up. It showcased how this transformation lets communities reap economic rewards while safeguarding the environment and building resilience. Proof that smart farming grows more than crops. It grows hope.
100 SMEs got the golden stamp for sustainable tourism. The National Sustainable Tourism Certification Scheme isn't just about saving the planet. It's about protecting Sri Lanka's rich biodiversity and making it the ultimate dream destination.
15 ministries, one mission, tackling climate action. Sri Lanka's National Steering Committee reviewed progress on its NDCs, crafted under the Paris Agreement. With UNDP's climate promise backing the plan, Sri Lanka is facing SDG 13 challenges head on.
Now, who doesn't love a good acronym overload? We at UNDP thrive on them. So we are happy to know that UNDP Sri Lanka is officially supporting the government with its first BTR and the FNC to the UNFCCC this year. We also signed agreements to kick off our work with JEF SGP OP7, CBA Phase 3, JEF 7 and 8 cycles, CCAC, TCCF, NBSAP and 7th NR, and the UNCCD.
I'm still a bit lost on what those mean. Who comes up with these?
Beats me. Maybe you can do a deep dive on the next Rakita Learns.
Thank you, Anuradha. We also have a special highlight this year, don't we, Ayesha?
Yes, we do, Iman. UNDP and WHO teamed up to take big strides toward inclusion. Through the Model Disability Assessment, caregivers learned the ropes, assistive tech took center stage, and persons with disabilities found new pathways to empowerment. It's proof that when inclusion gets innovative, everyone wins.
Indeed, Ayesha, very true. Now brace yourselves, folks. It's time for Weather of Progress with Lakmal, where office achievements shine like unexpected sunbeams or drizzle away into puddles. From brainstorming to teamwork, Lakmal's here to break it down, one grumpy cloud at a time.
Who doesn't love a little constructive feedback? The UNDP Office of Audit and Investigations gave us a glowing review this year. All that preparation was definitely worth it. The audit rated our governance and processes as satisfactory with room for improvement. Basically, we are doing great, but we need to keep leveling up. The UNDP retreat was an excellent opportunity for us to align our plans, but it was also about discovering hidden talents. Group sessions sparked brilliant ideas, while the social evening turned into a talent show meets dance-off. We also rolled out the Bravo Boosters this year, where colleagues could nominate others for the exceptional work they've done, and the nominations were fantastic. It all culminated at the grand Bravo Boosters we had at the brilliant It's Been a Great Year party, where we had fun categories to nominate our peers. With all the shining stars and bright moments, it's safe to say the forecast for next year is looking brilliantly sunny. It's back to the studio for more.
Thank you, Lakmal, for that enthusiastic update. Moving on, governance, green breakthrough, sustainable dreams, and sparkling innovation. Get ready to zip through the stories shaping our world today. It's your news roundup, condensed for impact, with our trusty colleagues chiming in.
March and September saw Sri Lanka buzzing with energy, literally. The INFF Financing Dialogues, co-hosted by UNDP and the Presidential Secretariat, sparked conversations on financing a just energy transition. Talk about an electrifying start.
Another big win for us was bagging the Gold Gender Seal certification. This top recognition at the virtual award ceremony celebrates the incredible efforts made by the country office in championing gender equality and empowering women.
Lightening things up, this year's Aurudu and Puthandu celebrations were packed with laughter. Lime and spoon races, curd eating contests, and even a legendary tug of war. Competitive musical chairs had everyone on the edge, quite literally. But office teamwork hasn't ever looked this festive before.
Colombo turned up the energy for the biogas, biomass, and climate promise project workshops, with key stakeholders, project site visits, and the big picture recommendations. Sustainable energy, checked and powered.
Hydromani Apparel and the Lacoste Foundation teamed up with UNDP through its private sector giving facility. And it was all about making a difference. The project helped vulnerable families start organic farming, poultry, and home gardening. The best part is, now the surplus produce is sold in local markets, including at Hydromani's Vaunia factory.
One of Sri Lanka's well-known popular restaurants, the Ministry of Crab, is teaming up with the Jeff SGP to protect Sri Lanka's mangroves in Mannar. Who knew the secret ingredient for sustainability would be some delicious crabs?
The main highlight in October was a single power-packed day as ASG Kani Vignaraja met with President Anurakumara Disanayake and Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, reaffirming UNDP's commitment to national priorities. From governance reforms to protecting vulnerable communities, her visit was a reminder of how impactful a single day can be.
Thank you for that excellent roundup of the news.
Almost as fast as our internet connection, no?
And that's a wrap, folks. From tackling climate action to championing gender equality, 2024 has been a year to remember.
Here's to more milestones.
More action.
And more smiles in 2025.
Stay tuned.
Stay inspired.
And stay amazing.
This is Ayesha
And Iman, signing off.
and wishing you all a wonderful 2025.